Well, regenerative organic for Lundberg, has, I think, three main pillars: soil, wildlife, and a social or people. But it all begins with organic. And so it's how we care for the soil. And we're growing cover crops. We have crop rotation. We're having habitat. The animals are important in a regenerative organic system. And in our case, we don't own the animals. The animals are wild, and they just come in by the thousands, by the hundreds of thousands, if not more.
For decades, the Lundberg family has been growing rice in support of their generations-old founding principle to leave the land better than they found it.
It's our firm belief that you're not regenerative if you're not organic first and foremost. Organic to us is really the foundation for regenerative, so that's where it starts. But then to truly be regenerative, it's a bit more than just being organic and not using chemicals, essentially. It's more of a holistic view of how you take care of the soil, interact with the environment, and take care of people in your community.
Anders, along with his father Bryce and sister Brita, all play an active role in pioneering regenerative, organic rice farming practices at their family farm.
We call it farming in partnership with nature, working with nature, not against it. Things like providing habitat for the birds in the wintertime and then nesting habitat for them in the spring.
So my grandpa Harlan used to say, people called us those crazy Lundbergs for trying to do something different. And it's true, people thought we were crazy for farming organically in the 1960s, before most people even knew what organic meant. But now we're regenerative organic certified. We became the first US grown rice brand to launch a regenerative organic certified rice. And that's really exciting because it's building on that legacy that my great-grandpa Albert started when he decided that we were going to leave the land better than he found it. It almost feels like a validation that that's exactly what we're doing. By building soil health, providing habitat for hundreds of species, and really taking care of the community around us.
And the family is going the extra mile to prioritize the health of their soil and support the ecosystem in and around their rice fields, starting with baby ducks.
I know that you're probably wondering, what do ducks have to do with growing rice? Actually, quite a ducking bit. I'm not sure if I can say that. But during the winter, we grow cover crops to help build soil health and provide natural fertility to our fields. But those cover crops also provide nesting habitat for ducks who have lost a lot of their natural breeding habitat. And so they find cover in the leafy greens of oats, vetch, and fava beans. And so before we start our tractors to prep the fields for planting, we work with our friends at California Waterfowl Association to rescue the duck eggs by hand and transfer them to a duck sanctuary where they are incubated, hatched, raised, and released back into the wild.
So when Lundberg finds duck nests in their fields, they strap on their hip waders and hand carry the eggs to safety.
It's like a giant Easter egg hunt. You kind of tread carefully into the fields and you all line up holding a rope with cans affixed to it. And you shake the rope so that the cans make a lot of noise and flush the mother hens off of their nests. And when you see a mother hen flush off her nest, then you tread really carefully over to that part of the field and you look for the nest and then rescue the eggs. And you actually place them in egg cartons like you would have, in your fridge. But you line them with feathers to keep the eggs warm and cozy. It seems small, rescuing, one egg at a time, but over the years that adds up to, 30,000 eggs. And so think of the impact that we're having at scale. It's really meaningful because it's a reminder that we're all connected, right? We share these fields with hundreds of species, and the way that we farm not only impacts those species, but also has the potential to impact the broader environment around us.
There's over 230 species that use our fields for their home at some point of the year or some all year long. And baby ducks, I think, are one of the best stories that we have as far as if we care about ducks and saving baby ducks that much, just think how much we'll care about our rice.
The average consumer doesn't have the opportunity to be a farmer or to make decisions out on land and taking care of the environment directly, but they have a choice in which products they buy. And that choice, they can use that to support others like us who are trying to do the right thing when it comes to tending to the land and farming regeneratively.